The inclusion of Spider-Man into the Marvel Cinematic Universe was something that die-hard Marvel fans were happy to see. After all, they grew up reading comics and watching cartoons in which the various Marvel franchises would cross over and team up constantly. So, seeing the Avengers fight evil without ever receiving help from Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, or the X-Men has been hard for some. But I'm here to tell you that the separation of these franchises can be a very good thing. And specifically, the separation of the X-Men into their own universe is a necessary thing to tell the kind of story these movies want. Something that has always bugged me about Marvel Comics was that in the same world where people love the Avengers, they fear mutants. In the same world where people are amazed at Spider-Man's exploits, they might very well have neighbors who are just as powerful as him. Seriously, why does no one just assume Spider-Man is a mutant? And why does it only seem that people who get mutated by accident or as a result of some crazy experiment become vigilantes? Why isn't every mutant and their mother out running around the city in masks stopping robberies? Assuming that said mutant's mother also has superpowers. But seriously, in a world where an increasingly large amount of the population have superpowers, how are people even surprised at all when a new hero comes along? Think of the superhero origin story, that fun period in their character arc where they are learning about their powers, stopping petty crime, and then eventually fighting someone who can actually give them a run for their money and prevailing. And yes, maybe somewhere out there in another city is another hero going through their own story. And maybe someday down the line they'll both team up and fight a greater threat than either one of them could handle on their own. But for now, they're just gonna try to keep their identity secret, live their normal lives, and please their fans / win over their haters. Okay, now picture that entire scenario taking place in the X-Men universe. Picture Peter Parker getting the attention of the entire Daily Bugle staff, when there are other people out there who can lift up entire stadiums, change weather patterns, and telepathically speak to every human on the planet at once. Just picture J. Jonah Jameson right now. Geez, is that guy finally done talking inside my head? Now we can get back to what's really important here, getting pictures of Spider-Man. In addition to making the whole superhero story completely implausible, the inclusion of the X-Men in the greater Marvel universe undermines their own themes. Boo, mutants, they scare us. They can do things we can't. But did you see the Avengers? How Hulk punched that giant space bug? So cool. Now, before people complain that the Avengers and Spider-Man receive their share of hate, I would like to point out that the type of criticism they receive is different from what mutants experience. Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, even the Justice League across the pond at DC tackle themes of power versus responsibility. If heroes should operate outside of governmental jurisdiction, whether or not they can kill, or heck, even the fallout of a superpowered PR nightmare.
We don't play favorites, we don't sell deodorant on television, and we certainly don't endorse supervillains for the presidency.
Basically, franchises like these address the theme of what people have the right to do. But X-Men addresses the theme of what people have the right to be.
After all, the wrong person behind the wheel of a car can be dangerous.
Well, we do license people to drive.
Yes, but not to live.
This is a world in which so many superhumans are born that they can't all just form a team and be closely watched by S.H.I.E.L.D. or be secretly rounded up and silenced by the government. There are so many of them that the only way to deal with them is through serious societal upheaval, either for good or bad. And a story that complex really deserves its own universe in which to play out. Alright, that's the first part of this two-part video. I'll be making the next one a week from today. So, look at the upload date, and if the time in which you exist is more than a week in the future, then you should be able to watch it right here. If it's more than a week in the past, then you are a time traveler and should go check out the pyramids to see how they were built instead of wasting time on YouTube. Anyway, like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.